Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bonnie Gregory. I'm one of the orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists here at UTHealth. Today we're going to go over some simple exercises that we can use with things we have at home to get our bodies active, moving, strong, and get going. Part of what I do as a sports medicine specialist and orthopedic surgeon is to help my patients get back into the activities they love to do or haven't been able to do in a while. So I hope you find some tips and tricks today that you'll be able to incorporate into the new year. This first series of exercises is going to focus on strengthening our core. Our core is one of the most important parts of our body that we often overlook in our daily activities. I'll take you through a series of exercises that you can do either on a mat, on a carpet, anything on the floor, with some modifications that we can try if the initial exercises seem like they're a little bit too strenuous from where you're starting. Follow along. So first things first, we're going to start with a little activation and mobilization exercise to get our spine and our core warmed up. So you'll start on the floor in what's called a quadruped position, or just on your hands and knees. Engage your core, so suck in a little bit to make sure you're protecting your lower back. And we're going to do a little spine activation called cat-cow. And in this, you're going to first arch up your back, look towards your belly button, hold this for a breath, and then as you exhale, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to arch your back and look up towards the sky or the ceiling. Take an inhale in, arch again. And then after we do a series of about 30 seconds with this, we'll progress into the next exercise. The next exercise that we'll do is another core activation called the bird dog, and I'll show some modifications. Once again, engage that core, and then first we're going to just reach out one arm in front. If that feels okay, at the same time, you can reach back your opposite leg. So here I'm demonstrating right arm, left leg. Hold that for a second, place those both back down, and then alternate. All the while trying to keep your core nice and stable and protecting your lower back. If you notice that while you're doing that, your back arches, just come back down to the initial and either go arm out straight first, or we can just bring that leg back and rest it on the ground instead. If we want to progress that one move further, we can then reach the elbow and the knee in together to touch, and then extend those out again. This is another great exercise that you can bring up through the different modifications until you're feeling nice and strong. So this next series is the always known, usually never liked plank series. So plank can be very intimidating, but it's one of the best exercises that we can do to strengthen our core, our back, and really help our body support our upper body and lower body throughout the day. So we'll start with some of the easier modifications and progress through there. So the first modification, we're going to start on our elbows with our knees down. So it's extending out from that quadruped position. Arms can either be straight out in front or meeting in the middle, or you can attach, or you can reach towards your elbows. And here, same thing. You're trying to engage that core to keep it sucked in while also maintaining a nice neutral flat back. As that feels more comfortable, we can either walk up to our hands, same thing, keeping those wrists right underneath your shoulders, trying to engage that core and keep a nice flat back. From here, if that feels comfortable and you're able to hold it for 30 seconds or more, then we can go up onto our feet. Same thing, engage that core, really try and push through your heels and through the top of your head while keeping a nice flat back and engaging that core. So once we're feeling nice and strong with our plank on our hands, we have a couple other modifications that we can add in. Next, we can do shoulder taps, where you lift up one hand, tap the other shoulder, and try and keep your core nice and strong. Additionally, we have toe taps, where you can bring those toes in and out, and then hip dips, where we're just trying to engage those obliques by rotating the hips side to side. From here, we can also get into a side plank series. Similar set of modifications. Starting on one side with your elbow right underneath your shoulder, we can come up into a modified plank first. This one really helps to work the side abdominal muscles or the obliques. Knees kind of right in line with your hips, bent at a 90-degree position, lift those hips up and hold. If this feels okay, you can extend that top leg out. If it feels okay there, you can bring both underneath you and even raise that arm up if you would like. From here, we also have some harder modifications, including doing side dips to once again strengthen those obliques even further. While you're still here on the mat, we have a couple other activities where we can work the back of our body. It's great to work the front, but we also need to work our back muscles as well as our glutes. From here, I'm just going to flip over onto my back, and don't worry, we're not doing a full crunch series. We're gonna do some glute bridges or glute activation. From here, you're gonna bring your heels close to your rear end so that you can touch them with your fingertips. Take a big deep breath. And on your exhale, bring those hips up in the air. Try and squeeze those glutes as you lift your hips while at the same time engaging your core to make a nice bridge. From here, you can hold this comfortably for 30 seconds, or we can do reps where we bring the hips down and bring them back up. If this feels comfortable, we have some progressions that we can do as well to further work the hamstrings and the glutes. One, we can start walking those heels further away from us while keeping those hips up. This is a great hamstring exercise, but can be somewhat challenging. So don't worry if we're needing to stay in the glute bridge for a longer period of time. That's also a great exercise to work all of these muscles. When you feel fatigued with that, take a rest. Another modification to make this a little bit harder and to work on your balance even more is single leg glute bridges. You can come up with two and then lift one knee, relax it down, march the other. And this is a great way to work on stability of the core as well as the hips. Now that our core is nice and warmed up and we're feeling strong, we're gonna get into some lower body exercises. Same thing with a good warm-up. We want to make sure we're engaging these big muscles of the legs, like your quadriceps and your hamstring muscles, which are in the back. And we'll do a couple modifications for these as well. First is just a reverse lunge. So you can bring whichever leg directly underneath your body with your other. We're going to bring that leg back, drop down till we get to about 90-90. If we're having any knee pain or difficulty with that, it's no problem. Just modify till the point where you feel some tension and then come back up from there. Same thing if we have sensitive knees. If you want to bring a pillow underneath that back knee, just in case, you're more than welcome to do that. And we tend to try and do at least 10 reps of these and potentially even a few sets if we're feeling comfortable. And then we switch, same thing on the other side. Really trying to work those muscles. Some other lunge variations are to the side of the body, and these help work not only those same muscles, but the inner groin and outer groin muscles. With these, we'll take a step to the side, hinge our hips back, and then come back. Same thing, hinge our hips, come back. Hinge our hips, come back. Hinge our hips, come back. And then, of course, we have walking lunges, and those we're just going forward and forward. Those can be done with weights or in isolation, as many or as few as you can do. This next series that we'll do is a squat series. Like all of these exercises, these can be modified to your activity level, your comfort, and any other limitations you may have. So first, of course, we have the regular body weight squat. Hips right over the feet, so feet hip distance apart. Really try and engage that core and glute still, which we've already activated, which is great. Drop down till the knees are a comfortable height. Try to not let the knees drop too far over the toes, and then engage your glute muscles, stand back up. And if that's a little bit too much, great, start with a lower squat. Just go to the depth that you can do. If that's still a little bit too much, then we can do some modified squats using some things around the house, including a chair. Another modification we can do for the squat is using either a chair or a bench or anything you have at home to have a little bit of a rest in between. So same thing, feet hip distance apart, and we're just gonna sit down, pause. If you feel good with that, stand straight back up. And we can do that same thing as many times as we can tolerate. Preferably we'll get about 10, maybe 3 sets with some rest in between. So hips down, touch, come back up. And don't worry if you need to sit down for a beat or two in between those things, it's still working all the muscles just the same. As we start to feel stronger and stronger doing these exercises, we can add on more. So same thing, we can use bench, chair, or even your stairs at home to start doing some step-ups. With these, bring one foot in front, really drive that quad muscle and the glute on the other side to bring that knee up. Our first is just stand here, and then we can step back down. A modification or advancement from there is to do a drive through with your back knee. So same thing, foot solidly underneath you, come up, bring that knee through. And then we can alternate sides, same thing. And as you get stronger and stronger, you can move faster and faster with this. Now that we've gotten our bodies nice and warmed up and feeling strong, we take the next step, which is to start some low impact aerobic activity. It may sound daunting when we hear the word aerobic, but that can be as simple as going for a walk around the block, getting on the stationary bike for 5 minutes, using an elliptical, anything that gets our body and our joints moving. They'll be happy that they're moving, and you'll get stronger in the process. Here's to hoping you all have an amazing, happy, healthy 2022, and that we all get moving.